Hey everyone, happy Thursday and welcome to the Plant-Based Morning Show. It's May 25th. It's a 3-day weekend coming up. So we're in good spirits. We're in a good mood. I never introduced us, I realized. First of all, sponsored by Love Compliment. Head over there now, lovecompliment.com, and you'll get all kinds of good stuff going on. Plantapalooza, our one-of-a-kind, first ever plant-based virtual music festival with no music. That's why it's virtual. It's like a music festival. It's not. It talks about health and great deals on all of our stuff. So Doug is just in time dropping in here. Doug, can you add to the Plantapalooza hype, please?
Yeah, that wasn't a very good job. Yeah, Plantapalooza, it's not a music festival. It's a health festival. It's a health festival where every day we're dropping new interviews with plant-based doctors, registered dietitians, experts, yourself, and covering a range of topics, for everything from longevity to fitness to weight loss is today's topic. And I don't know, it's a really cool thing. I've heard a ton of great feedback on the interviews that we're putting out. And of course, the other side of this is Compliment's biggest sale ever, which will also happen to be our biggest sale of the year. So if you are looking to try out a Compliment product or stock up on your favorites or get that one that you just have been eyeing for the last year or so, now's the time to do it. It will not get any cheaper than this.
These aren't like rare collector's items, right? That people eye for a year and then finally pull the trigger.
I don't know. You've heard us talking about greens, for example, or the protein powder. You've heard us talking about it for the last year of listening to this daily, but you just haven't pulled the trigger yet. You're like, I don't know, I need that. Now's the time to do it. Lovecompliment.com, anywhere from 25, 50% off just about everything. And I don't know. It's good. It's very good. Do it. Now, support the show, support Compliment, support your health, support the world.
Everything. Good. All right. Good. Very nice. As I was saying, we don't introduce ourselves before the show. A lot of these shows that I listen to, the hosts will like say their accolades and names and all that before each one. But we're not going to do that. If you go to YouTube, you'll see our names. Matt Frazier is my name. Doug Hay is Doug's name. We've just been around this space for a while. We've done a bunch of different things.
How many hours do you think we have talked to each other on either audio or camera?
A lot. Probably 300 No Meat Athlete Radio episodes for an hour. And now getting near 200 of these for, let's say, average half an hour, although they've been much more than that. So yeah, there's 500 hours.
Yeah, at least way more than that, I'd say.
Probably.
Yeah, so a lot of hours.
For sure. Anyway, yeah, head over to YouTube. I pinned the link in Instagram if you're there. It's youtube.com/NoMeatAthlete. People are here, people that I recognize. I'll keep saying the names. Sarah, Drew Designs, Mr. Jeffrey, D1 to Know Adventure Coach, Stephen Dunn, Kate, aka Rivercat. All these names, by the way, I was realizing if you're like a podcast listener, you hear these same names over and over and over. So if you're a regular participant in the show, among a small group of people, you're like a semi-celebrity.
Absolutely.
Not really, because then that would make us the real celebrities, and I don't think we can call ourselves that.
I think some of these people might be more celebrities than us.
Maybe we say their names a lot more.
Yeah.
So
we introduce them way more than we introduce ourselves, and you can interact with them because pretty much all of them are on the Discord. If you go to nomeatathlete.com/Discord, you can join in the conversation there. Lots of I've had a really busy week this week with Plantapalooza, so I have not been spending any time there, but I just looked and there was a lot of activity. And
there's always activity. Yeah, right. So anyway, all these people are personalities, at least. They're radio personalities, you'll know, like Howard Stern type show, right, where they have all those characters that call in and stuff. Baba Booey. I don't know the only one I know. But anyway, I'm sure there were many more. But these people could launch their own spin-off shows and things now.
Yeah, they could.
Deal off a slice of our audience. I don't know.
They should. Why not? Yeah.
Anyway, I got allergies hit me hard yesterday at soccer, and they've continued to hit me. I've been trying to take things. I don't usually like to take allergy medication, but I've had to, and I don't like how it makes me feel, but I did it. And the other thing from yesterday, I was going to concede something that I think there's a time to put a whole lot of toppings on pizza. and it's
Oh, no way.
Yep. Here's what it is.
Wow.
When you're at a pizza place or a
Uh-huh.
place where pizza is the only option for you to eat, you're not there. There's no vegan cheese option, which isn't that good anyway. You didn't bring your own vegan cheese. You didn't make your pizza at home. So it's sort of it's not going to be a great pizza. How do you make that pizza okay and like a meal that you don't feel terrible at eating? Just get a ton of vegetables on a cheeseless pizza, and you end up eating a lot of vegetables and a decent amount of bread, I guess, in the form of crust. But that would be better than just having like mushrooms and some very light tomato sauce on bread. So I think I don't know. I can give you guys that one. Everybody.
Matt, this might be the happiest day of our plant-based morning show tenure. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to hear this.
No, I'm not talking now about plant-based sausage and just egg or whatever else you're going to put on that pizza. This is just vegetables, not a bunch of fake stuff.
Nachos on top.
None of that. I'm not putting any of that on there.
All right.
It's just vegetables.
Just vegetables.
But it's a time that it worked pretty well. It's fine. I felt like I didn't eat a terrible dinner last night because I did that before soccer, and it was good.
That's funny. You know what? I made falafels last night.
Oh yeah.
From the Trader Joe's falafel mix. It's like a mix in a box.
Wow. Okay.
And it was actually very good. I had low expectations for a falafel mix, but it was quite delicious. They came out nice and crispy but gooey, and in the right way. And put them in a little pita. Had a bunch of vegetables in there. A little bit of tahini sauce. It was great. It was very good.
What's the mix? Mostly chickpea flour.
Chickpea flour. Yep. But it's like chunky. It's like.
They're putting the bugs. Finally, the bugs in the protein in the form of bugs is finally happening.
Yeah, no, it's chickpea, and it's it's not finely ground flour. It's it's kind of chunky in there.
Okay. Deep fry. I mean, how do you cook it?
We just baked them. I think they recommend baking or air frying, and we just ended up baking them, and it came out great. Honestly, like I said, I had low expectation. I think we've done this one other time with another mix, and did not work out.
Never even heard of falafel mix. I've made several at home, and often they turn out not very good. I didn't really know you could get a mix, but it's good.
Yeah,
Trader Joe's delivers again. All right, good. Well, we've got a fun show today. Rachel should be joining us as hyped up yesterday. She's going to talk about the Vegan Women's Summit and her food experience there, and the rest of the experience there too. I'd like to hear about. I believe she met Miyoko, and I'm sure there's more she can tell us. So hopefully that will happen as planned. She'll be joining us in a bit. Until then, we've got a weather report that is chock full of good stuff.
Full of it.
It definitely is. All right,
so you ready for weather reports?
Yeah, it has. You're right about that. This one actually has some substance to it. There's a real valuable thing. It's not just the new fake corn dog or something coming somewhere.
Hey, that's valuable. It can be. Oh, did you see Bianca speaking of Discord and
I did
corn dogs? Did you see Bianca did the vegan spam?
Yeah, the luncheon meat.
Luncheon thing? Yeah. And she liked it, I think.
Yeah. She said it tasted like it was unhealthy for you, which to me just means it must just be full of grease and salt flavors. Yeah. She said it tastes a lot like spam, which could be good or bad depending on your viewpoint, I guess. Yeah. Bianca's always out there trying new foods. I appreciate that.
I love it. I do too.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Weather report, plant-based morning show, Thursday, May 25th. Let's get into it. A new meta-analysis, which means lots and lots of studies all grouped into one. In this case, 30 randomized clinical trials between 1982 and 2022. This, published in European Heart Journal, has declared that LDL levels dropped 10% and total cholesterol declined 7% for people following a plant-based diet when compared to those who eat both meat and plants, the study found. So this is interesting because we've been saying, I've been sort of singing the praises of Mediterranean diet, the idea of, you don't have to go vegan, go vegetarian, just add more plants into your diet. We all can benefit from that. But apparently, if you go all the way vegetarian or vegan, you get a benefit that you don't from just going partway or just from eating more vegetables. And they said they looked specifically at apolipoprotein B, which is one that is particularly dangerous, I guess, in the eyes of a lot of longevity or heart health people. So they looked at that, which is, I don't know, I feel like it's sort of more up to date or more modern, at least this looking at more nuance beyond just LDL and HDL. But they said that these types of reductions would result in a 7% reduction in the risk of vascular disease in someone who maintained the diet for 5 years. So that's interesting that they link it back to that. One more bit here is they said that being vegan or vegetarian was associated with a 14% reduction in those apolipoprotein B levels. And that's pretty high. So this is cool. They mentioned that this is, it happened. This is across continents, ages, different ranges of BMI, and people in different states of health. Across all that, still found consistent benefit. So nothing that we haven't seen before. It's just adding weight to the argument, which is, like we kind of said recently a lot. You can't just look at one study and make any decision or determination about whether something's good or bad or what. But when you add to the body of evidence that there is, this is pretty convincing.
Definitely. Yeah, this is good news for sure. And it's, like you said, it's the meta analysis, which as you've been saying over and over again is really what you want to look for, right?
There's more. Yep. Of course, none of this matters to you or Mr. Jeffrey, since you guys don't check your cholesterol or care about it. So just for everyone else, there's this good news, but don't worry about it.
Yeah. I know. I mean, why do I need to now that I know that I'm eating the best diet for?
You're automatically healthy. You just eat this. You don't need to worry about any health conditions of any kind.
No, none. Yep. Yeah. Doctor says.
Yep, that's right. All right, on to the next one.
Doctor didn't say.
This is a fun one for me. Avid runner, vegan, and documentary filmmaker Tom Pickering, who you may know of from I Could Never Go Vegan, which I think we talked about in the early days of this morning show. That was a documentary where they addressed all the different objections for people going vegan. I don't know what happened in the documentary. I don't remember hearing much about it. But anyway, so this guy, Tom Pickering, he did that. Now he invites the public to join him for a month-long Running on Plants campaign. That's the name of the campaign, Running on Plants, to adopt both a whole food plant-based diet and an active lifestyle. The deal is you run a 5K the first time to get a baseline, or at the beginning, June 1st. Then you run another 5K at the end after this month of eating healthy, plant-based diet, running. It didn't say running every day, but running, getting free support, and all that stuff. So you can go find out more at runningonplants.org. Doug, why didn't he put it at runningonplants.com or .net, do you think?
I have a feeling I know. Maybe because we own that.
Exactly. We're squatting on those domains.
Is Running on Plants not trademarked? We
I've never tried to trademark it. I trademarked No Made Athlete, of course, very early. Okay. Running on Plants, I came up with about 3 months after that, and that was the tagline for a long time, but never bothered to get the trademark. And look at it now. I'm just kicking myself. I could have cashed in. I mean, could have retired.
Hey,
and here I am
Tom, if you want to get the runningonplants.com, you just let us know. Give us a good offer and we'll consider.
Yeah, now I don't know if it's for sale or not, but if the offer were right, I'd maybe consider it. It's more something I was going to just keep and give to my kids and have them give to their kids.
Okay.
Because we'll all be still using .coms and .nets, 60 years from now, for sure. Anyway, I'm glad this is happening. Go check it out. Runningonplants.org. This is, of course, cool. Joking, right? I always like when I have phrases that people then later use. It makes me feel happy that I thought of something good.
Hey,
all joking aside, this is good, right? Being active, eating plant-based diet, huge parts of our lives. So this is a good campaign.
Absolutely, and I love these types of campaigns. These kind of challenges. We're a big fan of those, as anyone who is a regular listener of the show would know. So I'm all for something like this. Hey, a real quick trademark side note. if you'll humor me for a minute. The Washington football team, now known as the Washington Commanders. I heard today they're probably going to have to change their name again because they can't get it trademarked.
I knew a long time ago that there was some other team that was called that, like some local something team, not even football, right?
Yeah. Well, apparently the trademark and patent office declined their trademark this week.
Oh my gosh! Can't they just buy it from that little club? I guess they won't sell it.
I don't know. But they might have to. Isn't that like why? How did they get to this point? Like what kind of failure from lawyers and staff got them to this point where they're not going to have to change their name a third time?
Yeah, that's awful. Awful. Dan Snyder, he's still the owner, or is he sold?
I think he sold it. Yeah.
So maybe he knew this was coming. Maybe that's why he got out.
maybe so.
Funny. All right. Steven says he always uses a grain, a green, and a bean. Good. So does Trader Joe's. They didn't bother to pay or anything like that. But they use it. That's fine. Whatever. I don't mind. All right. So that's that one. And we got two more huge breaking news here. In March of this year, we reported that Aldi had stated its mission to expand its vegan range to 1,000 products, 1,000 vegan products, right? By the end of 2024. So that's what 18 months away. They have to get there. Here's the news, Doug. Today, the company reveals they've taken a significant step towards that goal, and they already offered 950 vegan labeled product varieties. So that was
okay.
That was an article.
I've got a question about this.
Okay.
Are they just calling fruits and vegetables like vegan labeled?
I don't know. It says from vegan cosmetics to plant-based alternative products.
I wonder if they actually added any products here, or if it's just they just looked at the product line and decided, oh, this is vegan, and I'm going to add a little V to it.
I'm guessing that they did that. 1,000 is so many. If it's like intentionally vegan product, you have to imagine that they don't get more than 200 of those in a store.
To go from March to now, I mean, we're talking about 2 months. There's no way they're introducing that many new products. So, I mean, this is great. Like, I love a good vegan label. It makes a big difference. Makes my life a lot easier.
Right.
But I mean, come on. Like, I don't know. I feel like they're kind of taking a shortcut.
Yeah, and I just thought it was funny that. Well, but by the way, they say they're focusing not only on reducing the small quantities of animal-based ingredients in their products, but also on expanding the vegan range. So I guess they're altering current products to make them vegan, also adding new stuff. So good for them. I'm glad they're doing it. I don't understand why there's an article and why did they reveal this thing? Like, was it like covered up with a thing on stage, a big blanket, and they put it off, and everyone thought it was going to be the 1,000, and it's like 950. We're 50 away. So anyway, that's good progress, I guess. We don't know where they really started, but good job.
As Mr. Jeffrey says here, all these new vegan apples.
Yeah. All different varieties. Yeah. All right. And last one, the Kraft Heinz Not Company has announced that NotMayo will launch in U.S. Target stores nationwide this month. I feel like we've had this story like 5 different times that these things are out, and I don't know where or what, but this is now concrete in Target this month, which may mean in May, maybe in the next 6 days, they're going to launch in Target. Hope so. The NotMayo is made with AI-driven food tech, so it's going to probably eliminate me as a potential customer. I'm afraid of not just AI, but food technology in general. So I'm going to stay away from this. But it's made to offer the same look, taste, and texture as egg-based mayo, and replace mayo in any recipe. So that's a good thing, I guess.
Why do you think they need to call out the AI?
So the valuation of the little brand goes up. I don't know why Kraft Heinz cares about that, but if they were trying to raise money or something to get a valuation, put AI in there, and then it just 10x's.
I mean, AI-driven food tech, like surely they're not. It's nothing new, right? They've probably been using whatever tech that they're to look at how ingredients combine or whatever. I mean, like I just can't imagine this is new. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I hate the AI on everything.
Yeah, I do too. I think there's a lot of machine learning technology, which was 20 years old. A lot of it. I think anybody's calling that AI now. Be my guess. Pattern recognition sort of thing, and they can just do it. I don't know, but yeah, it's silly. But in this case, driving this customer away. I'm not getting involved in AI anything when it comes to putting it in my body.
I'm pretty sure you already have, but I'll let that slide.
All right. Okay, so that's your weather report. Looks like Rachel has requested to join on Twitter. Is she in the restream, Doug? I haven't seen.
I have not seen her in the restream.
No, I haven't either. Rachel, you got to come into restream if you want to be on here. I've sent you the link on Instagram, so do that. In the meantime, Doug, we need to fill some more time. So what do we think?
What do we think? Well, how is your workouts going? How are your workouts going?
They're going great. I'm 4 weeks or so into the second 8-week cycle of it, and it's good. I mean, it's getting hard. It peaks at week 5, and I'm getting close to the peak volume, and then weights go up, but the reps go down during the last 2 weeks of the program. And then I test 1 rep max again. And then, but I'm a little worried about summer with some travel coming up to different places. I'm in such a good routine with the working out that I'm actually a little bit concerned about what's going to happen with that. Was last night as I was trying to fall asleep, I was thinking about plans. What could I do instead to keep my strength up? How can you modify the program? And there are some suggestions. You can pare the 45-minute workout down to, twice a week, 20 minutes, and just hit the big stuff. Ignore some of the small auxiliary lifts and things. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. But I just don't know if I have to go to Sweden for 2 weeks or so for holding soccer, and like I can't imagine going to a gym that much. It just seems
might be a kind of a cool way to like get involved in a new community there. I don't know. Like not to meet people, but like just see what gym life is like in Sweden.
I did think about that. That would be a cool thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do in Sweden. I don't speak any Swedish or anything. All right, Rachel says on Instagram. Is there any way
she's on Restream now too?
Oh, she is. Okay. I didn't have my window max.
Do you want me to bring her in?
Wonderful.
You ready?
Yeah, I will. And then Rachel, also, if you can, also request on Instagram, because that way people will see you there. But we can start without that.
Yeah. Hey, Rachel.
Hey, guys.
How are you? How are you doing?
I'm good.
I got it. Just a little delayed.
I'm excited to be on.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. So for those who don't know, or not long-time fans of the show, Rachel was on in kind of the early days. I don't know when that was. Was that this year or was that last year? Was that 22?
It was a few months ago.
Okay. Doesn't matter. Your company, of course, is Rooted Living Granola, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I saw you requested from Instagram earlier. If you're able to do that while you're talking on your phone, feel free. We'll add you into the Instagram feed. If not, and you're on Instagram, come over to youtube.com/NotMayoAthlete. You can see Rachel. So anyway, you got back when? I guess early this week from the Vegan Women's Summit?
Yeah, I actually got back yesterday because I ended up going. I have family in New Jersey, so I went and I stayed there for a little bit. But it was a very packed 2 days, but overall just like an incredible experience. Like my company, Rooted Living, was a sponsor of the Vegan Women's Summit, so we got to have a table. And that was really awesome because we got to sample our granola and compete in different competitions that they had with the other companies there. So other companies that were sponsoring were like Impossible Foods. They had A Billion, Forager, they had Miyoko's. So it was really fun to be amongst them all. We also won Best Sweet Snack Award, which was really fun.
Wow.
So I'm excited I'm excited to get the granola in your guys' hands. So hopefully if you send me your address, I'll get that to you soon.
Yes, we will do that. So you competed, so you beat out, I guess they weren't in your category, but you beat out oysters. You beat out blue cheese. You beat out.
We did. We beat out like Ocho. Like I don't know if you've heard of them, like the chocolate company.
I have heard of Ocho.
Yeah.
Did you beat out Oatly by chance in any category, like advertising?
Oatly wasn't there. I also don't agree with all the hate to Oatly. I think that they are appealing right to my target demographic for all of their advertisements, and I see them everywhere, and I love them.
Okay, we have another listener, Sky, who wrote to me, and she said she has a friend who I think vegan for 20 years for some reason, advises companies, does this, and she said they also have serious problems with the Oatly ads and think some of the messaging is troubling or something. And I was like, yeah, this is good. Because my beef for them is like purely a just stupid, I think the ads are dumb. But apparently there's some people who have real problems. I don't know. Well, so we may have him or her on to talk about that. I don't know.
Keep the Oatly hate alive.
No.
All right, no, we won't. All right, so I know you met Miyoko. Did you meet Carly by chance?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw a picture of you and Carly.
Yeah, we had a picture together. I'm hoping to also come out with my own cookbook within the next year or so. So it's nice to talk to her and hear about her experience. And she tried Rooted Living, and hopefully we'll do some sort of collaborations in the future. But she's awesome.
She is awesome. She's a very nice person, and all that success has not gone to her head, which I like.
No, truly, she really took the time to come over and talk to us and sample things, and really a lot of the people there who are big, they obviously were very busy and consumed with all of that, but I'm sure she was getting pulled in a million directions, but it didn't feel at all that she was didn't have time.
Very nice. Good. All right. So you tried. Well, I want to hear about the content of the thing. Let's talk about that, and then we'll get to the food. 'Cause the main event here for me is the cultivated meat. You wouldn't tell me whether or not you tried it,
Yeah.
but you will eventually.
Yes.
What was the content like? It was a bunch of talks by people.
Yeah, so I wrote some notes. So I think I'm gonna walk you through what the days were like and then share some of my favorite foods throughout it all.
Okay.
Because they actually weren't necessarily like the top big companies that have been promoted, like Impossible, BioLife, stuff like that. I love them, but there were some hidden gems in there from smaller companies. But so it started. I went with the two other women on my team, Sam and Radit, and we went together from Boston. And we went on Thursday night and everything started on Friday. And before everything started, we went and we wanted to try one of the vegan spots in New York. And so we went to Planta Queen, which I think you guys have talked about in the show before. I'm not sure. But anybody in the New York area, they also have one in Chicago. Highly recommend. It's honestly one of the best vegan restaurants I've ever been to.
What is it called? You said Planta?
Planta. Yeah, Planta Queen.
What's Queen? That's part of the
I
name?
think it's like part of the name. It's like
Okay.
mainly, it's like all capitals Planta, and then like Queen is like, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
If it's like
Yeah, someone in our Discord was saying go there.
It's insane. I mean, they have like vegan fish for their sushi. It's like all really good, but it's made not from any like fake proteins. It's like watermelon, eggplant, but really done very well. So I just like really respected it. So we started that, but I thought I'd mention that because it was very important part of the trip. And then the next day things started. We had to wake up at 4:30 in the morning because we had to set up our table at 6. So we got there. It was in Brooklyn. And we set up everything, and then the event started at 8 in the morning. So essentially it was like, for us and my experience, it was like we were just like tabling and running around the place all day. There was really cool like news there as well, like media, Good Morning America, which actually interviewed Rooted Living, and some other cool news outlets. So that was really fun. And then so people most of the time were just walking around trying all of the products that were in all of the tabling around the place. And then there were also talks. So like talks by the cookbook authors, signed cookbooks. But I'd definitely say like one of the biggest parts there was just constantly going around and sampling and trying everything, because especially places like Miyoko's, they did something really cool where every few hours they switched what they were offering. So in the morning, and they were cool. They were in the VIP lounge. And so it was all like decked out, like a decked out space with Miyoko's stuff. And we got to meet everybody and it was very fun. But in the morning they had bagels and their butter and their cream cheeses. And I've never tried their salted vegan butter, but it was incredible, really good. I'm not a huge fan of their cream cheeses usually, just personally, because just a little bit too like on the tart side for me. But I did really like the butter. And I never have vegan butter. I don't think I've even ever bought it, but it was very good. And then they switched a few hours later and they did like charcuterie boards with their cheeses. And then they did cheesecakes at one point. It was all really, really, really cool. So that's kind of how like that day went. And then at the end, they did just wrap up the awards. And then the next day was in a different part of New York, and they did mainly just like a networking day and a few more talks. But yeah, that was kind of the lay of the days. And then, but I definitely want to tell you about some of my favorite things I tried there.
All right,
Let's do it.
Okay, so I think Mr. Charlie's was there, which you guys have talked about too, where they're like the opposite of McDonald's.
Right.
Very cool. I mean, not healthy. It was like junk food to the core. But it was really, really, really interesting to try their like chicken nuggets and their burgers, and it was just essentially everything.
Were they supposed to be just like McDonald's? Like, is that the idea? Make the food taste exactly like it? Okay. And are they only in LA, or are they expanding now?
I don't know. They must be in New York since they were there, and they had like a food truck. So it was really, really very interesting. They were just like handing out burgers, handing out nuggets, like handing out all of these things constantly. So it was crazy. There was this company there called Atlas Monroe, and they had plant-based nuggets. I'll like share all of the companies I'm talking about in the Discord. So if you guys aren't on the Discord, I definitely recommend joining, and then you can see all the links. I also have like a little recap on the Rooted Living Instagram, so you can check that out. But Atlas Monroe had these vegan chicken fingers, and they were better. I have to tell you, there were so many mock chickens and like just mock meats, and they were my favorite by far. Very, very, very cool. The other company that was very surprising to me, they were called My Forest Foods, and it was all mushroom-based meat products. So I really like that approach usually to plant-based meats, not all of the stuff that's filled with the oils and the weird proteins and the things that we just like don't know about, which I know is something you talk about a lot on the show. But this was very like mushroom-based, and they had a bacon. And I actually have never even been a bacon person. Like, I goes with the controversy of the potatoes. Like, I've never liked bacon, and that was insane. And then they're a smaller company too. So if there's any way that people can get their hands on My Forest Foods, their bacon was just incredible, and their ethos behind the company was like very impressive.
Are they just is it just mushrooms, like not mycelium mycoprotein stuff? Is it just like actual mushrooms?
I'm not sure. I know that mushrooms were their forefront ingredient, but I'm not sure what else was in there. But yeah, I'll send their link.
Okay.
There was, I'm not sure if you guys had seen the videos or pictures, but there was the vegan eggs that the yolk was running. And so they were serving those, and like they cooked them on like a skillet, like a frying pan, like an egg. It was crazy.
Oh wow. Okay. I think that's the one we talked about yesterday, Doug, that looked kind of weird when it was in solid form. But I think later I read they're making an eggshell for that thing so that you can literally crack the egg out of there and pour it right into a skillet.
Yeah,
make it look just like,
They told us, they came over to the delivery table and they were telling us about it, because our company, a big focus is bioplastic materials, using plants as our packaging essentially, instead of any sort of single-use plastic. We use non-fossil fuel derived materials to create our packaging, and they were doing something very similar and were telling us about the egg that they're going to be making is just made out of like biomaterials. So very cool. I'm glad it's not like something unsustainable, because like even those vegan eggs that you talked about previously in Whole Foods that come and you put that seasoning on them,
Wonder Egg,
like,
I think.
You Wonder Egg, they all come in plastic and they're okay. This was a lot more impressive to me. It was by a company called Every. It was like My Every Foods or something is like the full name of their website, but very cool. They put them on toast and they gave them out as samples like that. And it was very fun.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah. Not like 100% an egg, but definitely getting there.
Okay, good.
Other than that, I think like.
How about you try the fish, the vegan tuna?
Yes,
we talked about that yesterday.
That was wild.
Yeah,
that was really cool. But I have to say, the thing that surprised me the most were the vegan scallops. Like any of the fish like that, and they also had or they had scallops. They had the clams that you were seeing, or the mussels.
The oysters we saw.
The oysters. Yeah. You can tell how long I've been vegan. But they had those. We tried them. That was really impressive. But they had this clam chowder that they made. That was like the coolest thing that I've tried. And I'm not even like I've never been like a seafoody person, but that was really impressive.
Nice. That sounds great.
Yeah, that was really cool. Cultivated meat. Okay, so can I tell you? So we were, I'm gonna get there. We were in, our table was facing basically all of these. There were all these tables. People walked around, and our table for rooted living was opposite of the table that was doing the cultivated meat. But it was this really interesting table because it like unlike any other table there, they swapped the vendors every few hours. So that's where all of like the random fish things and the vegan egg and all of the weird and new innovations, that's where they went. So they swapped out every few hours. And so we had the like pleasure of like trying everything first, because we were like right across and they were setting up and they were just like doing us favors. And then I went for the little like interview with Good Morning America, and I missed the cultivated meat.
Oh no.
The one thing I didn't try. Can I tell you, I'm not that mad about it. I'm really not that mad about it. Like I saw it because my friends took pictures, my team members, and they tried it and said it was interesting and meaty like, but they also said that like everything there had that kind of flavor. And especially after trying so much of that, meatiness. It was just kind of all blended and wasn't like, oh wow, like this is something that I've never tried before. It all kind of has the same palette of flavors.
Okay. Interesting. So it wasn't, I mean, they didn't just say that was identical to eating meat or did they say that it was like same thing and just not that interesting because now you can get that flavor anywhere?
They couldn't tell. And they dressed it up too. So they had it as little like hamburgers.
Mhm.
And so they had like a little aioli and buns and stuff like that. But like same with Mr. Charlie's, to be honest, like you couldn't tell when things were all in the bun and in the dish.
Sure,
You just
right.
couldn't tell.
Were there people there that you could tell or hear who like wouldn't eat the cultivated meat for ethical reasons, that they were just weren't interested in doing that or afraid to be
No.
Backlash? No, not
there was no conversation around that. There was just a big line and crowd around it. So there was a lot of excitement.
Okay.
There was. Okay.
At the vegan.
Yeah, I was wondering yesterday if people were going to be boycotting it a little bit or protesting it. No.
Not at all. Not at all. No, people seemed super positive. And I think it was a very trusted space. All the vendors there seemed like they were brought in for a reason and they were kind of vetted out. Everybody there was there for a reason. They were trusted, all the companies that were sponsoring and tabling. So I think people just had fun with it.
Cool. Mr. Jeffrey makes an interesting comment here. He says they need to get meat eaters to try cultivated meat because vegans won't know. I sure would, which is a good point, right? Maybe we're used to eating these mock meats and that they're to the point where we're not even going to notice anything different. We're not going to notice that it's not those, but meat eaters themselves may, have a different opinion.
Are your employees, are they vegan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the two women that went with me were, I have some other teammates and they're not, but we're getting there.
So Rachel, if you had to bet on the future, 10 years from now, are we going to all be eating cultivated meat and the Beyonds and the Impossibles are gone by the wayside? Or you think those will be the major player and cultivated won't have taken off?
I think that cultivated will be the next thing. I really genuinely do. And I think that the other surge of things are going to be more of the whole food, healthy, plant-based versions. And so instead of that like middle ground of having the fake meats, I think it's going to be the cultivated meats. And I think it's going to be the healthier approaches. And we actually, as a company, were just having a conversation 2 days ago with CVS and asking them, kind of what the future would look like in terms of their next snacks that they're kind of starting to bring out, because we're looking into that for rooted living. And they were saying their main thing that they're projecting and seeing and looking for going forward are those healthier takes on unhealthy things. So that's my 2 cents.
Good. Okay. All right. Well, last thing then, we'll let you go. This is a good chance for you to promote your rooted living company. How did you guys win the best sweet snack when you're, I assume, against a bunch of foods, super high tech, innovative new stuff? Not to say you're not innovative, but it's not like you're making this with AI or something. I don't think. How come? Why did you win?
People voted for us. So it was all voting based from the people that were there. So it was really awesome and great feedback. I think people really appreciated amidst all of the unhealthy, very sugar and oil heavy foods that we were just kind of a refreshingly healthy option. Right. We don't use any refined sugars or oils. But we have a lot of flavor in our granola. So I think people just like had a lot of fun. I think our booth was a lot of fun. I think we just like had a lot of fun with everything. People really appreciated the fact that I'm a student founder. And so definitely wanted to like nudge us up there.
Right. Very good. All right. Well, I can't wait to try it. What's your website again? I just looked for .com and it's not it.
It's rootedliving.org.
.org. So somebody had it, just like runninghomeplants.org.
And it's been inactive for like 6 years. I don't know how to get it.
Yeah, right. All right, well, good. Well, thank you, Rachel, for coming on. Come back anytime, especially if you got something new to share with us like this. We really appreciate it. Can't wait to try Rooted Living granola. We'll talk about that on the show, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it.
Awesome.
Thanks for joining us.
To you guys.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Bye, guys.
Right. Goodbye. And everyone, enjoy your Thursday. Doug, you got Thirsty Thursday plans as usual?
Yeah, standard old Thirsty Thursday. Yep.
This is a big one though. This is during Planetpalooza. You got to be wiped out. You got to be looking for a little escape, maybe.
Little stress release for sure. And it's going into a long weekend, which happens to be in the middle of Planetpalooza, which is kind of throwing me for a loop. But just
All right. So we're ending Planetpalooza on a Monday? Is that right?
Tuesday.
Oh, it ends Tuesday. Okay, good. We didn't want to end on a holiday. All right, good.
We need to. Yeah, you always are call me out on things or like discover things to mention while we're live on a podcast and not like.
I like to pull back the curtain. I like the nice people to see what goes on.
I like it. I think it's great.
I woke up in the night and I was thinking, are we ending this on a Monday? I was thinking, is it 7 days long and we're ending on Monday? And then I remembered it. Or I just remember now it's 8 days.
Yeah, 8 days. 8 days ends on Tuesday after the holiday.
Right. Good.
It'll be a good one. Yep.
Okay, good. All right. Well, check that out. Check out rootedliving.org, Rachel's company. I actually can't wait to try the granola because
same here.
Hearing all that stuff sounds awesome and good. I can totally see how after a weekend of eating that stuff, you get sick of that. And just good old granola sounds pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I mean, how much fake vegan fish can you eat in a weekend?
A lot. I could eat a lot. If I was at that conference, I mean, I wouldn't do it on my own every day. Right. But man, I would have really enjoyed myself at that event. So
good. All right. Well, that's Vegan Women's Summit. Go next year if you're interested. Well, maybe we'll go next year too. Go to lovecompliment.com. That's where you can get in on Plantapalooza action and save some money. Pick up a rare collector's item you've been eyeing for the past year. And that's it. Otherwise, enjoy your Thursday. We'll be back Friday before the long weekend.